Tuesday, September 23rd, after the bell. I just finished my second live stream. Tune into those if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss them. I keep you up to date with how the market's moving. So today, the market had a down day. Not massive, but it was down day. Looked like the big names, Nvidia and some of the other big names, were mainly what was pulling the market down. I would expect maybe some consolidation from here. One thing that could drop the market pretty sharply is if there's a change in the projection of rate cuts for the rest of the year. So if instead of 2 more rate cuts for the rest of the year, which would be 50 basis points total, there could be 0. There was already a lot of dissenters calling for 0, and if the job data comes out fairly strong, while they're still worried about inflation, that could be a catalyst for 0. That would move the markets and bring it down. However, in the spring we're getting a replacement for Jerome Powell, and the new Fed governor will be much more dovish, preferring lower rates. And so that should play into the market, but people already kind of know that. But as time gets closer, should play more and more into the markets. Okay, so the S&P, it did finish fairly strong on the 1 minute. It crashed down to these levels. It held the level pretty well, and then at the end of the day, finished rallying off of it a little bit and coming to this resistance point. So not bad. For the market. Bitcoin, on the other hand, was looking pretty bad. And let's see, up until the afternoon, it was doing okay. We're over here. Up until this afternoon, it was doing okay, right around here, but it's chopping, still kind of sideways. This was the low from midnight last night. Recovered strongly. And then it was drooping sideways, drooping down a little bit. And here in the early afternoon, that's when it started to fall. And when it did fall, it wasn't ever looking good. Coming up from the fall. It never really was catching itself in a strong manner. Or when it did, it was met with equal or more selling pressure right after. And this is post-market now. It's having a little bit of a rally, but this was new daily low, even lower than midnight last night. So, nothing to really like for right now here. I think it's going to drop even lower. When it drops even lower, I think there could be a real good time for buying opportunity. There's still a lot of positive fundamental catalysts for Bitcoin, increased adoption and increased just use of people wanting to invest in it. I know Morgan Stanley is going to allow their traders to start trading Bitcoin if they're E-Trade clients, and so there's another bank that said that they will incorporate Bitcoin with gold as a currency backup, and there's a lot of fundamental reasons to like Bitcoin. Not sure why it's coming down. I know there's a little bit of a civil war situation with Bitcoin right now, and so maybe that's got something to do with it. But yesterday I flipped from calls to puts, and today I bought some more puts, and that worked out pretty well for me. It wasn't really looking like it was going to hold the price that it dropped to. Not sure at what point that I bought those, but it was before it fell for additional lows. So anyways, Bitcoin's not looking too hot for right now. I would let it drop a little bit further and then look to buy into it. AGQ for silver is a good one to be invested in at a time when it's hard to find what you want to invest in. I think SPY is probably okay. The big names will recover. However, it's so extended to the high side that it's a little difficult. But yeah, silver opened up today and came down, but still a good one. Open, who I liked the shorts on when it was up here, and it's had a rough couple days coming back down to earth. Probably should have never been quite that high. And MSTR's, a Bitcoin play. So, with Bitcoin having a bad day, they had a rough day, finished at daily lows, which is good because I have puts on MSTU, which is 2x MSTR. And let's see, Moderna, I would be staying away from them. Their earnings are just so bad. The only thing that propelled them from here and kept them from collapsing, because I mean, look how they just kept testing this low. They were going to collapse through it, but just in time, they got some positive clinical data results for their updated COVID vaccine, but I wouldn't count on that keeping the stock afloat. Maybe for the short term, but yeah, I'd be keeping an eye on them, and if they keep poking this area, then I'd expect it to fall through 23 and could be a good put buying opportunity. So that's pretty much it for today. Pretty interested to see how Bitcoin does because I'm bullish on them more long term, so it's always hard or little anxiety being short on them in the short term, but keep an eye on it and hopefully don't get burned overnight. The chart for today, throughout today, was just looked pretty bad, and so see, here's the thing: it falls here, sideways, sideways, but just keep wanting to go for, and every time it pulls up, it ends up coming back down, and so even the price that it's at right now compared, is lower than most of the low points after a big drop, and very close to the very lowest point, and it already broke even lower. And so unless it just decides to turn things completely around right now, maybe because the market's closed or whatever, the way it's looking is that it wants to fall for more, come into 110, 109. If it catches at 110 or 109, somewhere in here, that'd be like kind of bullish, in my opinion, because that's like a nice spot if it, really catches itself at that point and doesn't just consolidate sideways. I don't want to see it fall and then consolidate sideways, or I'll expect it to fall for more. But if it falls and has a nice bounce, that could be a bullish spot because it certainly, if it wasn't going to be bullish, it could certainly fall for more. Could fall even below this level. So if it even falls to this level, though, that's pretty bearish as well. So I wouldn't be surprised that it only falls to around here, around 110,000, and then starts bouncing from there. And if that's the case, it's probably a good buying opportunity. So anyways, I'll leave it there. Good luck, everybody. I'll catch you all tomorrow.